Hello world, welcome to the Brothers Dunn podcast. My name's Joe, and each week my brother Chris and I are going to have some fun talking about all the things we've been arguing about since we were young lads. There's going to be ups and downs, maybe some flamethrowers and chainsaws, whatever gets you people to listen. Hell, I'll even get naked if I need to. Feel free to send us an email on anything and everything at brothersdunnpodcast@gmail.com. That's brothersdunnpodcast@gmail.com. Dunn spelled D-U-N-N. Well, here's episode 1. So, tell me about your big thing today. You went and looked at a car.
Yeah, but not just any car, an EV.
But what's so special about that?
Okay, well, let's just say that the world is changing. Priorities are changing. Technology is advancing.
Okay.
And it's made me open my eyes to something that is a lot more captivating than any other car experience ever had. The idea that you could totally have a car powered by sustainable energy, something that doesn't need to be going to the gas station every week to fill up, something better for the world.
Okay, so what was the car you looked at?
Chevy Bolt.
I just gotta say, that car, pretty ugly.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It's no Tesla, but a man has to make a living and not go into crazy amounts of debt in the meantime. So
How much more, what's the cost difference?
okay, so entry-level baseline Tesla Model 3, you're looking at $40,000.
Okay.
Baseline Chevy Bolt, you're looking at $28,000. So
Is the $12,000 worth riding around in that thing?
well, debatable, but the lease deal is what sealed it. So the lease deal right now, because there's a brand new iteration of the Bolt coming out in 2022, they tried to get rid of every single 2021 on the lot, and they're making it almost impossible to take to leave off the table. So I went with it.
You know what car I saw today?
What?
The new Corvette. Have you seen that?
The gas guzzler, yeah.
Gas guzzler? Maybe.
Have you been in one before?
Not the new one. I today was the first time I saw the brand new one on the street, and it looks like frickin' Batmobile.
I feel like
It's sweet.
It's definitely a supercar.
It is, but it's like all right, so the Bolt is 28 grand. For I think 32,000 more dollars, you could be driving the new Corvette.
I've been in it. It looks like what you would imagine SpaceX to look like on the inside.
Oh, I forgot. I don't know if we should, not that anybody's going to listen to this, I don't know if we should mention friends' names without asking them first, but I forgot that he had the new, what color is it? Maybe it was the one I saw.
Dan.
Nobody's going to listen to this. Yeah. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, it was Dan's. It was brown.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, well, I think he's the only one in town that has one.
That thing is freaking sweet.
I've been in it maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
And, ironically, the 0 to 60 is comparable to a Model 3 Tesla.
Well, those are supposed to be like the fastest cars out there.
With a Corvette.
No, the Teslas, right?
Yeah,
what's the speed of is the speed comparable in the Bolt?
Well,
is it the Volt or the Bolt?
The Bolt. There is a Volt, but this is the Bolt.
Okay.
The Volt, I think, is a hybrid or just an older model EV.
Yeah.
The Bolt is fully electric, but really what it comes down to is like the torque in the 0 to 60. So
the torque.
Yeah, the torque. Foot-pound of torque is what you're looking for. The Corvette has plenty of torque, and I believe it goes 0 to 60 in something like 2.7 seconds. Mm-hmm. The Performance Model 3 is pretty comparable. I think it's 2.9 seconds. The difference, though, is that it's all-wheel drive. So I was going with Dan. He put his car in track mode. So that's like if you want to experience the full force of a brand new Corvette, we got to push this like
all-wheel drive?
No. Well, the Corvette's rear-wheel drive. Tesla's the Performance all-wheel. So if Dan's going 0 to 60 and he's punching it from 0, well, he's gonna kind of like burn the tires. It's not gonna be a straight, smooth, launch. because it's not all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So the difference is that you push you floor the Tesla, and you're getting like G's of force against you, and you're not skidding at all.
Yeah.
It's pure, unadulterated force against you.
Yeah. I drove, the only electric car I ever drove was the electric version of my car, the Ford Fusion.
Isn't that a hybrid, not an electric?
No, it was, there's a hybrid one too, but the one I drove it freaked me out because there's no sound whatsoever.
Yeah,
Like, that is weird to me.
It's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
But I just heard that Congress is heavily considering a timetable for ending the new production of gas cars. And
When are they saying that's going to be?
I feel like it was like 2035 or 2040, and
Yeah.
a lot of countries right now are putting shelf life on gas cars. Electric is absolutely where innovation's happening and where most people are considering where the future lies.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of,
A
I
dinosaur.
it makes sense. I mean, most of the things I hear make sense. Like, I don't know a ton about this kind of stuff, but I've heard, and I brought it up to you, that, the making of the batteries is just as bad as pulling gas out of the ground, which I probably just read some random article by who the hell knows. But what I was getting to, I like the idea of a muscle car or a car with a gas guzzler. It's manly. I like that.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be a place for that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite car and why?
My favorite car?
Make, model, year.
1968 Pontiac GTO Judge. Purple.
Okay.
You know what car I'm thinking of? It's a movie we saw a million times when we were kids.
Like Triple X.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Did I get it right?
Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Triple X?
Yeah.
That's badass.
That I remember the scene. He's in the warehouse.
Yeah, with
He's
like those European freaky bitches.
Yeah, and he unveils it. They're like doing a mass unveiling of all these incredible cars, and that sucker just shines right through.
Oh yeah. Isn't Vin Diesel like 5 feet tall?
I don't know, but
I watched that movie like so many times as a kid.
yeah.
And I thought he was like an action hero, but then you hear about some of these guys, like, who's the other guy? Like Tom Cruise. He's like
4'8".
a midget.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know, genetics, I guess.
But why wouldn't they just get a tall actor? Like, is there not anybody as handsome as Tom Cruise that's a little bit taller?
I mean,
why do they gotta lie to us?
Vin Diesel fights European thugs. No one else does that.
Well, I guess.
That was a very weak point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so purple Pontiac GTO. That's your choice.
Yeah. What about you?
Man, it's a car that hasn't even come out yet.
What's that? Is it the Roadster?
No, the Roadster's been at. That was Tesla's first car.
The one that they sent to space?
Yeah. That's been out for like a decade or something like that.
Never seen one on the road.
Well, because they're $200,000 and they're very rare.
Oh.
They're coming out. They're kind of revamping that again. But that was their first. That was their very first production vehicle.
Well, we got to get off the car topic. This is not the Tesla podcast. We're giving them too much free plugs here.
The Brothers Dunn podcast is brought to you by Tesla. Electric cars, solar, and clean energy. Buy a Tesla today.
For all of our thousands of listeners.
Yeah. Well, the R1T was my top pick. That's
what
not
is it?
The R1T.
What's that?
Well, it's not Tesla. It's actually a new dog on the market.
New dough.
Yeah, it's a company that Amazon, Ford, I believe J.P. Morgan.
What's the company?
Rivian.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say what was that other one where the guy it was like Nikola.
Yeah.
Like what was up? That guy just ripped off Tesla.
Well, Rivian is being sued by Tesla for the same thing. There's not that much of a huge talent pool in the like EV engineering world. So people,
I mean, how do you beat Elon Musk? That guy does everything.
Well, he made Dogecoin successful. So I mean, he clearly can move mountains.
I mean, he could send a tweet about frickin' Kit Kat bars, and that stock will skyrocket.
Isn't that though like a perfect example of manipulation?
There's no Kit Kat stock. Sorry, everybody.
Isn't that manipulation though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, the guy's obviously invested in that, right? Why he's trying to get all you fools to buy it.
Yeah. Well, and he's
so
succeeding.
he can get richer.
Yeah, and make more flamethrowers.
Now those are pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And have you heard of the Boring Company?
Yeah, aren't they? They're making like tunnels from like LA to somewhere.
Yeah, every city, every major city. Yeah, LA to somewhere. Every city, they're trying to solve the traffic problem by boring subterranean tunnels underneath.
I heard it's, again, this is one of those things. I just read a headline and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But the headline I read was, it's just like a single lane highway that's underground.
Yeah. That's all I know.
I mean, why can't they just make a single lane road if that's all it is?
Well, and why, like...
You ever been on a single lane highway? Like, or you ever go to, it's that place in Rhode Island we used to go to, with the beach. Mesquamaket.
Yeah.
You remember before you get off there's that one lane highway?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Why don't they just do that? I mean...
Yeah. I also wonder...
Can we get a traffic expert on here?
Yeah. I mean, what causes traffic?
I don't know. I think it's just stupid people.
Yeah, like, I just wonder...
Not me. I'm great. I drive perfect, but other people...
Yeah, I mean, you might be the most perfect driver I've ever met.
Well, I'm sure I've told you, but I'm having a little driving issues lately.
Do you say?
I haven't told you about this? How I have trouble driving on the highway?
You have, but our listeners, all two of them...
Well, everybody, let me tell you about this. So... lately, every time I drive on the highway, I get what I want to call vertigo. Like, it's the weirdest thing. I get on there, and I just feel like I'm gonna like fall out of the car. Like, I get dizzy, my hands start sweating, and it's only on the high. I mean, I feel it like a little bit when I'm driving on the regular road, like if I go over a bridge or something. But so maybe the more I think about it, maybe I'm just like subconsciously scared of driving on the highway.
Did you?
But I've never been afraid of driving on the highway. It's never bothered me up until like a year ago.
Can you pinpoint the day that happened and what was different about it?
Yeah, it was Michelle, my fiance. Shout out, Michelle.
What's up, Shelly P?
We were driving to Cape Cod last year, and literally we got on the highway on I-95. I'm not going to let everybody know where we live so they can find us, but we made it like one exit, and I just started profusely sweating and shaking. Michelle was like, "Something wrong with you?" I'm like, I got to pull over. You got to drive. Like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. And ever since then, I've just like, I haven't really drove on the highway.
Oh my gosh.
And luckily that happened during a pandemic, so like I kind of really don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
So if any of you listeners out there know what the hell's wrong with me, call in.
Prescribe him something. Yeah.
I'm going to make an email for this, so like if we ever do get any listeners, they can
I mean,
send me medical help.
I think we should have a call-in feature.
We could probably, I'll just put out my phone number.
Yeah.
And all the weird people on the internet that might find this can call.
That sounds like a really, smart move. And we're smart dudes, so makes sense.
We're also really handsome. I mean, you can't see us, but
Thank God.
Once we get that video feature.
Yeah, you're going to be blown away.
Yeah, we're going to have a producer eventually, too. I told you, my buddy Matt.
Yeah.
He's a whiz. He's going to be...
He's real cute.
No, he's perfect.
Yeah, but, he has other value.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be endowed the way we are genetically.
Yeah, it's the first episode, people. It's going to get better. Just grind through with us for a little bit.
We've set a really low bar.
So what did you want to talk about? Like why we wanted to start this?
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm just curious, like, and I wonder if our listener is curious, like, in the world of podcasting, where there are countless podcasters,
So many.
why us? Why now?
Well, I watch a ton of podcasts. So I have a very what's the right word? I have a job where I have a lot of free time, basically, and podcasts are just something I kind of got into, and there's something about them, just people just talking, that is interesting to me.
Doesn't give you vertigo.
A lot of the ones, maybe, I don't know, but a lot of the ones that I listen to, like, they're not even really about any, like, it's just people that are funny or interesting, and it just made it like, I could do that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. We'll find out.
Yeah. So you're inspired by podcasting. We want to get our feet wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool. I think also something I remember when you came up to me about the idea, it's a way for us to connect. There's not a lot of easy ways, like when two busy brothers are trying to live their lives. This is a cool intersect point, where we can just sit down and like interview each other or talk about things that really do matter.
Just what I need to talk to you more.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to bestow blessings upon you.
What does that mean?
Whatever you think it means is fine by me.
Sounds kind of weird. So what else is on the agenda? What's it like being a dad? Chris, for everybody out there, has 2 little boys, very cute.
Yeah.
He's a good father.
Thanks.
What do you like about being a dad?
Oh, man. Okay. What do I not like about being a dad? Poop. Poop. There's a lot of it.
All right, here's a riveting question. How many times a day are you cleaning up poop?
Well, let's just say that we got the poop factory here. We're talking like, I don't know, 4 to 10 poop diapers a day.
How long does it take to change each one?
Well, there's a method. You got to get in and out quick because, let's be real, who's trying to deal with poop?
Not me.
Yeah. So you gotta prepare yourself mentally. You gotta go in with a plan. Where's that new diaper? Where's the old one going?
That's a few minutes right there.
Yeah, that's at least 5 minutes of prior planning.
And then you just forget where you are and
Get
start
vertigo.
questioning life. And,
Yeah, can't see.
Damn. All right. So what? All right. Continue.
Okay, so let's flip the script. Best things about being a dad: the fact that you get to see in real time little people develop very quickly and have their own personalities. Like just the other day, I was talking to my 3-year-old son about his teacher, Mrs. S.
Shout out, Mrs. S.
Yeah, great teacher. And he was just telling me how cute she was. His famous saying is, "Hey, Dad." Okay, my name is not Dad. It's not Daddy. My name is Daddy-O.
Daddy-O in the house.
Yep. And that's just that's the name that my son's always called me. So I'm Daddy-O. It's on our Christmas stockings. It's the label that seems to be permanent. Yeah. The other day he came up to me and he was like, "Daddy-O, Miss S, she's real nice, but she's real cute." And it's just like, it's things like that where you get to see, like, well, not just see, but you get to participate in like real discussions with people that were just babies that like couldn't even move. And all of a sudden they have minds of their own and they want to talk to you like regular people. It's awesome.
Yeah, that is so weird. Like, I remember, I don't know if you want to give out your kids' names. There's a lot of weird people on the internet. But, yeah, like, I remember when they were first born, and it's just like they're just this totally little helpless thing. And then now they're running around talking.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I know. It's unreal. And honestly, the hard part is, like, getting asked why about everything in life.
Yeah, you got to explain everything.
Like, how do you explain the way everything works when you're still trying to figure out how everything works?
I can't even explain anything.
Because you got vertigo.
I couldn't even think of an example of things I can't explain.
Yeah. How do you explain that?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. So it definitely.
What's the hardest question I mean, they're not that old yet, but what's the hardest question you've been asked?
Hardest question. Let's see.
Or the hardest type of question to deal with?
Well, I don't know if I can remember exactly the hardest question, but I'll tell you that the kind of question that's the hardest.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like I remember in college I learned something called the Socratic Method. Have you heard of that?
Like Socrates?
Yes.
I think I fell asleep in that class.
Yeah.
But go on.
You would. So the Socratic Method is a way of getting down to like a fundamental truth that someone holds, or like a perspective that they hold that you can only get to through kind of asking layers of questions, and it's super simple. So
Okay.
the reality is you just kind of continue to ask why someone thinks what they think,
Yeah.
and every time you ask why, you force the person to go deeper into like into the core of why they believe what they believe. Because oftentimes on the surface, you might present a perspective, but the reality is there's something way deeper informing how you think.
Yeah. Like I find myself in that kind of thing all the time where I think I have a super strong opinion on something, and it's just because maybe I read something stupid on Reddit or
Yeah.
saw something on the news, and it's just like the idea kind of just like creeps into your mind, and if you don't question like, why do I feel like that? You could kind of just find yourself like believing other people's beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that like that's what you do with your kids? You're trying to find out why they think what they think?
No, I wish. That seems like a noble thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's the reality is my son's always asking me why for several
I
things.
guess I misunderstood.
Yeah, so that's the kind of question that is hard. Like he'll ask me like, I'll be like, oh yeah, Charles, you see like the sky? That's blue, right? He's like, yeah, why? And imagine having to go into several layers of why the sky is blue. Or, I really love your mom. Why?
Ooh.
So, but it's a really cool exercise. I almost want to do it on you right now.
Do it on me. I mean, it's
Like,
probably
what's an
not going to
opinion?
work.
What's an opinion that you have? Just any opinion.
What's an opinion that I have?
Or a statement, like something that, what do you believe? Anything. What's something that makes you happy?
I believe people should try and be creative and do creative things.
Okay. Why?
Because I find in life a lot of the creative type of things that I do are the things that kind of make me happy.
Okay. Still pretty surface level. Why do creative things make you happy?
Because it's always a journey, you get involved with creative things because it's something you're interested in. Like playing the guitar is something I do. I suck, but I do it.
You don't suck. By the way, I'm pretty sure our intros are made by Joe.
Oh yeah.
It sounds pretty professional.
But what I was saying, so like creative things, you get involved because you're interested in it, and it usually involves some type of skill that you develop over a period of time, and it's something like the guitar is like a never-ending journey, and you could always learn about it. You could always make your own things, which is kind of the creative part, and it's just you're never done with the guitar. You never pick, Jimi Hendrix was never like, all right, I mastered it and done.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why he died, but
Oh, but we're gonna edit that out.
sorry, Jimmy.
So why is a journey like that important to you?
It's like, what else do you do with your life? I mean, do you just sit and watch TV all day? I mean, what? You need something to work towards or work at. And I guess for a lot of people that's work or, their career, or maybe their career is creative and, goes hand in hand. I've never been able to do that, but
Yeah.
I just like the idea of always getting better at something,
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, no, totally. So, I think we could take this into more and more minutia over several iterations of whys, but you get the point. It forces you to think. You can try one on me if you want to.
All right. What's one of your beliefs? Strong belief.
Okay, I believe that community is important.
That's way better than mine. Why?
Yeah, it is way better than yours. Why? Because I feel like we're not meant to live in isolation.
I could agree with that. Why?
Well,
I
we're
like
not
this. I'm like
meant.
a
We're not.
detective.
Yeah, we're not meant to live in isolation because I believe that life is to be shared, especially like you think about like the joys, the pains, the experiences you go through. When you have a group of people that you feel like accept you and support you and understand you at your fundamental level, not just surface level, but people that really know you, that kind of validation, it enhances life. Like I have a close friend who knows me, as much as my wife does. And
Who are we talking about? Give him a shout out.
okay, we're talking about Glenn.
Glenn just declined to be on our first episode of our podcast. Great guy.
Yeah, we're lesser friends now, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
he knows me in and out. And so when I'm going through something big, he has a way of being able to like listen and articulate and give me perspective from knowing me so well that really helps me to open my eyes to things. And so that's how that's a form of community. You have someone else to share in life with as a friend in this case, but that makes things better from the connection that you have.
Yeah. I guess we could keep going. I mean, that was a pretty good answer. Would you practice that?
Would I what?
Did you practice that?
No. It's just like I tend to think about these things a lot anyway, so I feel like they're kind of on my mind. But the Socratic Method's good. It helps you just open up in ways that I don't think people normally would in conversation.
Yeah, that is pretty simple. I mean,
So simple.
and that's something I don't do enough. I have a lot of surface level beliefs.
As most people do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that you and I as brothers, we can go deeper.
The Socratic Method, people.
Go deeper.
That's sexual.
Or platonic.
I don't know what that means.
Non-sexual.
Well, what else do we got?
Well, I did the last one. You're up.
Okay. You read any good books lately? Do people read books anymore? And I say read books, but I listen to books.
Yeah. People do read books still.
But, all right, here's something. Why do people read? Every time I bring up a book in this first, all right, people always want to call me out because I don't read. I listen to Audible, and it's like, you say that you're reading a book and people know that you listen to it. It's like you're committing a crime. They're like, you didn't read. Every time I get called out.
Yeah. Well, here's a reality check. The earliest people were storytellers. That's how we communicated information.
That's why I do it.
Yeah. You just have a deep connection to the earliest people.
Yeah, I got some caveman in my heart.
I always thought you were a caveman, but it's a form of information gathering that is totally normal.
Yeah, but like the thing about audiobooks is like it's a better way to do it. In my opinion, I mean, who has time to just sit around and read a book for an hour? I mean,
my wife.
Yeah, I guess. But you can freaking do some yard work, while you're listening to a book, go on a run.
Yeah.
I don't do either of those things, but
Yeah. I think it is pretty good. And I feel like just in the same vein as podcasting, audiobooks have become like the way to ingest information.
yeah, it's great. Did I tell you about that book I read? It's called Endurance. Did I tell you about that one?
Remind me. I don't think you did.
Oh man! All right, so you got to read this. It's called Endurance, and it's about this guy Shackleton, who was this
Shackleton?
Shackleton.
Just one name?
It was like William Shackleton or something, but
Yeah.
that's a badass name. Come on,
Shackleton, yeah.
Shackleton. Shackleton. So he was like this English explorer guy, and I think it was like around the 1910s, like maybe for some reason I think it was that time area. Could be wrong, but so this guy, he basically got a group of people and was like, we're gonna cross Antarctica, and they did it in they were gonna do this in a freaking wooden boat. Like I looked at pictures, I thought by that time they steamships were around, right?
Totally.
I mean, they had those in the Civil War. But I looked at pictures, and these guys were legitimately in, like, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. To be on the bottom while I'm drinking sangria. But, so, first of all, I don't think they have the right technology to be doing this. They had better stuff back then. So this guy and this group of, like, 40 dudes, they're going to travel across Antarctica, and They got everything they need on the boat. They're just going to do it. And a few months in, they get encased in ice. And the boat can't move anymore. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, yeah, it gets really cold there. You need an engine or something.
Yeah, that's
Wind's
pretty
not
odd.
going to carry it, but besides the point. So these guys get stuck there, and I'm not going to explain the whole book. But so basically, they have to abandon the ship. All they got are these little lifeboats. They run out of food. They're hopping around on icebergs, freezing cold. All they have are like, I think it was like deerskin jackets or something. Like
And Nikes.
They did not have Nikes back then. This was real man shit. So they're hopping around icebergs. They run out of food. The only way they could eat, they have to kill seals. And some of these seals are gigantic. Like one of the guys gets attacked by one.
Seals are aggressive?
Yeah, and maybe it's a walrus, but they sound scared. Like they're saying some of these things are bigger than the guys, and they're coming at them. Imagine that. You're just trying to get a nice meal, and you got a freaking seal coming after you.
Sounds like the bear scene with Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's one of my favorite movies.
That was an intense scene.
Yeah,
Revenant, right?
maybe we could talk about that one on a different episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're killing walruses, hopping around on icebergs, and eventually they find like a little base on one of the icebergs, and they're kind of just waiting for help, I guess. But man, we might have to cut this out. I can't explain the whole book, but basically these guys they make it back to land, and they find like this little island kind of halfway between South America and Antarctica, and there's like some shipping workers. And it takes them like 2 years to get there, and the group splits up. But the point of the book is this dude Shackleton like led these guys through it, and this guy was a freaking amazing leader. Like nobody had ever tried to do this before. Some of the worst conditions possible, freezing all the time. It's raining. They're getting frostbite. Like so many of the guys lost limbs and stuff, but the guy never gave up.
This is a leadership book.
Kind of. I mean, I was talking to our father about this a while back when I read it, and he said he went to a leadership school and they taught him about this guy.
Huh.
I never heard of him. I just randomly came across this book, but Endurance, super inspiring.
That sounds like an incredible story.
Because it's like, I was thinking of it, if those guys can get through that,
Yeah.
what can you not get through?
Like
Humans are amazing.
Like we can get through a podcast if that guy can do that.
Yeah. What are we at, 30 something?
Yeah, we can do a little bit more.
Yeah. For all you listeners out there.
One of my favorite books that I read recently is Atomic Habits.
I have read that before. I've listened to that before.
Yeah.
But that's, you know what, that book actually puts a little hole in my theory, because that's kind of a book you gotta like take some notes on.
Yeah.
You know, to really like get the full effect.
Well, what's central to it? Continuous improvement.
Yeah.
1% every day.
Yeah.
You get 1% better at, you commit to doing 1% better with your good habits every day.
Yeah.
And habits are everything. I've learned that,
That's true.
we are, as humans, a amalgamation of our habits.
It works both ways too. I mean, bad habits can destroy you. And
Yeah.
I like the idea with the atomic habits thing. I remember some of it, but it's just like, it's the kind of stuff like you ever hear, just make your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Like a little thing like that can set you make that a habit.
Yeah.
And that one little thing can make you feel good and set the tone for the rest of your day.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like these ideas, what's most striking to me is that it opens your eyes to what you do and what you commit to. Like most people, they go on autopilot. They don't really think about, the things that they do or why, or, what habits make them feel good versus what habits are unhealthy. They just kind of do them.
Yeah.
This book kind of like forces you to look inward and see, almost like, minute by minute list what your habits are.
Yeah.
Identify what, are they contributing to your happiness, or are they blocking your happiness? And that in and of itself is a really powerful practice.
It's like mindfulness.
Yeah, being aware of who you are and what you do.
Yeah. I've listened to a lot of self-help books, and I think I just like the encouragement of like, I don't really like, I feel like those books, you gotta take some notes and, actually take something. I just like the, people telling me it's all going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, good, Joe. You're going to be okay.
Yeah. Actually, I like the first self-help book I ever read, and I actually did read the paper version. I still have it. Dale Carnegie.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the book. Something, how to make friends and influence people. How to make friends and influence people. Man, what timeless shit that is. Like, he wrote that in probably the 1930s or something. I mean, it was a long time. I don't know exactly when, but it sounds like modern. Like if you read it today, it perfectly applies.
Yeah.
It's just, like timeless lessons about how to act.
Yeah.
That you're just kind of never really told. Like you're never told about that stuff in school.
Yeah. It's amazing how in school you learn the most, like they call it rote learning, like things that you need to memorize, like numbers and words and, different languages. And honestly, half that stuff I don't remember at all anymore.
Yeah.
But why not more timeless things?
Why not a self-help class? Like, why don't they teach some of that, Atomic Habits stuff?
Yeah.
Dale Carnegie stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff is the kind of stuff that's going to help you in life.
Yeah. You know what's striking to me? That we live in an age where you have unlimited information at your disposal immediately.
It's amazing.
YouTube. It's hands down one of the most powerful platforms for
Did you
becoming...
say you porn or you...
What?
I was trying to make a joke, people. I don't watch that porn stuff.
Yeah. So, back to the point. YouTube. You can learn anything and everything there. I started my career by simply watching YouTube videos on how to do things in my field.
Yeah.
And it really worked.
I never really asked you about that. Like, how did you get that job, the job that you do?
Well, so I'm in marketing.
But you were in marketing before that, were you?
No, I've had a crazy run of it.
You went to school for like history or something, right?
Yeah, I went to school for history. And I then became a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Before that, I was an admissions counselor, then a fundraiser, then
I got some admissions I need to counsel right now.
What?
Go on.
And then I worked for a church, and then I entered seminary.
Seminary? Yes, I do remember that period in your life.
Yeah. And it was an amazing experience. In my last year in seminary, I got offered a job working for a YouTube channel. And
Give it a little plug.
yeah, it's Off the Left Eye. It's a silver status YouTube channel that basically talks about like spirituality, and it's pretty high on animation and graphics.
I've seen the videos. It's professional stuff.
But we were featured on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz is a part of it. So is the YouTube channel affiliated with that school you worked at?
Yeah, it's
For
like
fundraising or whatever?
loosely affiliated. It's based, so
And Dr. Oz is a part of that church, right?
yeah, it's like a whole international church that is Christian, but they really believe in the writings of a Christian mystic named, his name is kind of weird, Emanuel Swedenborg. Mm-hmm. And he's becoming much more popular today. Like if you look at searches for that mystic, he's really growing in the modern age.
Yeah.
Kind of revolutionary teachings. And so
What's his main thing?
his
If you had
main,
to wrap it up in one sentence.
well, man,
Is
it's
it-
almost impossible.
It's like for a lack of a better term, a knockoff of Christianity, right? Not a knockoff, but it's a different version of Christianity, right?
Yeah, it's he wrote that there was a deeper meaning to the Bible that was a story of each of us. Like the Bible is literally like a manuscript for how to become an angel. And basically, if I were to kind of take it from the highest level, his whole system of teachings expresses that every single person is capable of evolving to be the best versions of themselves. And there are ample tools that you can harness to do that. Tools in nature, tools in sacred text, tools in the history of humankind. And his teachings kind of lay it all out. There's like dozens and dozens of books. He was actually a famous dude back in the 1700s. He was a scientist, and I think I think it was like Berkeley. They did a study of like the 3 smartest men to ever have lived, and Swedenborg is one of those 3. He insanely smart, and when he was like in midlife, he was searching for the soul. That was his like scientific endeavor, and he wrote that like God opened his eyes to like the deeper reality of this life, and gave him all of these insights that he wrote down over decades and then published. And it's all insanely practical. And for me, it's like totally transformed my heart and my mind. It's been experiential. And that's our YouTube channel is based upon his writings. We kind of combine technology and art and animation with his writings. And we have like millions of viewers. Like every quarter we get maybe 1.5 million viewers.
Maybe we can snag some of those people.
Yeah.
But so let's bring it back. So you were. So how did you get this job? That's where we started.
Yeah, I was in my last year in seminary, and I had interned for this YouTube channel, basically like responding to people's comments.
Yeah.
Because our brand is like really involved in like, we call it in social media, like moderation. Like whenever someone reaches out to us on YouTube, we respond.
Yeah.
And we get like thousands of comments every week or two. So there's teams of people on our channel that just respond to comments.
Do you ever get any like real shitty comments?
Yeah, we get trolls. And we get...
Those people are nasty.
Yeah, but the cool thing is we reflect back the kind of love that we teach about. Mm-hmm. And we have like a troll conversion rate. Yeah, it's crazy. So like
That's I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
I mean, what drives somebody to be a troll online? What is that all about? I mean, you gotta be like at a real freaking low point in life to just go around on random YouTube channels and just say nasty shit. I mean, I've just never had the desire to even think about doing that.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. One is you have really, really strong views on something.
That
And-
maybe you don't really think about.
Ooh.
Bringing it full circle.
Oh, gosh. Well, so if you have a strong view and you feel threatened, I think that might be like a passionate way to like basically, if you think that someone else's views are harmful to them in your eyes, like, for example, a Christian fundamentalist, someone that's like very, very into like the Bible, like the literal Bible. If they hear that there's a deeper meaning to the Bible, it probably scares the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And so they're going to troll us. People that have tons of pain, like trauma and pain, they oftentimes will, kind of like communicate aggressively or lash out online. And those are the people that we oftentimes try to reach with kindness, because it disarms them. They're so used to fighting fire with fire. And this isn't just a YouTube lesson. This is like a human lesson.
Yeah.
If you can disarm conflict by embodying the kind of reaction that you wish you received from that person.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. That's what our brand is known for.
Yeah, that's probably a useful thing for all. I mean, I feel like that's something a lot of YouTube people probably struggle with, is not knowing how to deal with trolls. And I feel like if you take yourself seriously on YouTube and you don't respond the right way to that kind of stuff, it could probably hurt you.
Yeah, your audience is, they're always looking for your leadership.
Yeah.
As a brand, and how you communicate. People pay attention to it.
Yeah.
So like
There's nothing worse than with like a YouTube person or anybody that, you respect, and you just see like a troll get to them and they lose it.
Yeah. So it's really important.
Because then you're just on their level,
Yeah, exactly. So I think we oftentimes retain our audience better because they see us shine through those challenges, so they really, because you really get to see, you're tested in those moments.
Yeah.
You have to show that you can walk the walk and talk the talk, and, not just like be saying nice things, but actually live those things authentically. It's important to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If we get any trolls, we're gonna show you some love.
We're gonna hug the shit out of them.
We're gonna do all that kind of loving stuff. What are we at? 48 minutes.
How long are we supposed to even do this for?
How long do you do podcasts for, people? I mean,
Call in.
I think they're like 30 minutes or an hour, most of them.
Yeah. So this is probably a good ending point.
Yeah. Well, everybody, if you tuned in,